Looks like Muslim nations are worried over Iran emerges as world leader in Muslim world Army Israel-Hamas war, as Iran is making its own decisions on supporting Palestinian people and helping them in the war. Before going forward, please subscribe the channel and share and like if you the information. The GCC, comprising Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Oman and Bahrain, is concerned that Iran could be the new leader and decision-maker in the region with the recent turn of events vis-à-vis Gaza-Israel conflict. Although Saudi Arabia has normalized ties with Iran to an extent, but there are tensions inherent as it remains a target of Iran's theocratic dogma and single-minded dedication to become the custodian of the two holy mosques, thus asserting religious, not just geopolitical primacy over the region and the whole Muslim world. According to top intelligence sources, Iran has been calling the shots behind the scenes on the theater of war in Gaza and regionally the entire time. Lebanese military group Hezbollah, which is engaged in exchange of fire with Israel at their border, is making its decisions on Iran's guidance. The GCC summit represented a weak Saudi Arabia and the attempt by the Arab world to appease Iran and follow its lead on information warfare. Saudi Arabia and other Muslim countries called on Saturday for immediate action to end military operations in Gaza. The extraordinary Joint Islamic Arab Summit in Riyadh urged the International Criminal Court to investigate war crimes and crimes against humanity that Israel is committing in the Palestinian territories, according to a final communiqué according to news agency Reuters. Dozens of leaders, including Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who was welcomed back into the Arab League this year, attended the Joint Islamic Arab Summit in Riyadh. Finally, the collective gathering to issue the statement calling for an immediate ceasefire and rejecting Israel's claim of self-defense shows they are, however reluctantly, agreeing to accept Iran as the leader on the Palestinian cause. With Iran's increasing influence, how are internal and external forces influencing its path to leadership? This is a question that has gained significant traction in recent times. Iran, an influential power in the Muslim world, is witnessing an upsurge of unrest within its borders. A pivotal point in this unrest was the tragic death of Mahsa Amini, a young Kurdish woman who died while in the custody of the morality police. This incident ignited a spark that spread across the nation, leading to widespread protests. These demonstrations were not merely an outcry against a single event, but a call for broader societal changes, including women's rights and the demise of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's reign. However, the Iranian government's response to these protests has been to cast them as a Kurdish separatist movement. This portrayal seems to be an attempt to reduce the protest's significance and isolate them as a regional issue. But the reality on the ground tells a different story. Demonstrations have garnered support from various ethnic groups within the country, showing a level of solidarity that transcends regional and ethnic divides. Though the government continues to deny discrimination against ethnic minorities, reports from rights groups suggest otherwise. These reports highlight the struggles of the Iranian Kurds, who are not seeking secession, but merely the respect of their constitutional rights. This disregard for minority grievances by the government could potentially brew a storm of civil strife within the country. Despite these internal challenges, Iran's influence on the international stage continues to grow, becoming an increasingly significant player in the Muslim world. This rise to prominence is not without its complications, as the nation navigates the delicate balance between internal unrest and external influence. Despite the internal unrest, Iran's influence continues to grow. But how are other nations reacting? As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll explore the reactions of other countries to Iran's rising influence in the next scene. As Iran emerges as a leader in the Muslim world, what are the reactions from other nations, particularly Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar? The rise of Iran as a significant player in the Muslim world has sparked a wave of reactions, especially from nations such as Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. These countries have been observing Iran's growing influence with a mix of concern and apprehension, particularly in the backdrop of the Israel-Hamas conflict. In the complex regional politics of the Middle East, these nations have traditionally wielded considerable power. Now they find themselves grappling with the prospect of a paradigm shift, with Iran at the helm of affairs. The worries are not unfounded given the long-standing rivalries and the delicate balance of power in the region. Saudi Arabia, for instance, has historically been in a geopolitical tug-of-war with Iran. The two nations, representing the Sunni and Shia sects of Islam respectively, have often found themselves on opposing sides. Now, with Iran's increasing clout, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is undoubtedly on high alert. Similarly, the United Arab Emirates and Qatar, though smaller in size, play a crucial role in the region's politics. The UAE, with its booming economy and strategic alliances, has always been a significant player. On the other hand, Qatar, despite its size, has been successful in maintaining a balanced relationship with Iran, even during times of heightened tension. But as Iran's influence expands, both these nations are likely to reassess their strategies. A pivotal moment came with the recent meeting of 57 Muslim nations. The gathering, which saw nations from across the world convene, underscored Iran's emerging role. As Iran positioned itself as a potential leader among these nations, the reactions from its regional neighbors were mixed, ranging from cautious acceptance to outright concern. With Iran's rising influence, the political landscape in the Muslim world is changing. Only time will reveal the full implications of this shift.